It starts with a simple box, a small, unassuming cardboard package left on a doorstep. It's an address you haven't lived at in 20 years, the house where you grew up. What would you do? Would you open it? So you bring the box inside. You slice through the packing tape. Inside is a VHS tape with your old childhood address written on it. You dig out an old VCR. A wave of static washes over the screen. You have no idea what's coming. Because what's on this tape isn't a memory you've forgotten. The static clears, and the first images flicker onto the screen. But something is wrong, and you are about to press play on a nightmare. The grainy footage shows your childhood living room exactly as you remember it. It's a perfect replica of your past, a scene pulled directly from your mind. But then, you see a child who looks like you, but you don't remember this moment. The scene is both intimately familiar and completely alien. The tape continues to play, a silent, ghostly slideshow of a life that almost was. Each moment is a twisted mirror of your own history. You are watching a phantom life, a carefully constructed forgery of your own past. You are glued to the screen, unable to look away, desperate and terrified to see what comes next. The camera work is unsteady, amateurish, just like a real home movie. It pans slowly across the rooms, lingering on small details. A framed photo on the mantelpiece, a child's drawing taped to the refrigerator, a half-eaten plate of cookies on the kitchen counter. It's these mundane details that make it all so chillingly authentic. The person holding the camera seems to know this house intimately, moving through it with a casual, confident air. But as the tape rolls on, you begin to notice something else, something in the periphery, a subtle wrongness that you can't quite place at first. It begins as a flicker in the corner of the frame, a slight darkening in a doorway, a smudge on a mirror's reflection. At first you dismiss it as a glitch in the old tape, a flaw in the magnetic recording. But it keeps appearing. In a shot of the hallway, a tall, slender darkness seems to stand just beyond the threshold. In a reflection in the living room window, a humanoid shape appears to be watching from the yard. It's never clear, never in focus. It is always just on the edge of sight, a fleeting presence that your brain struggles to comprehend. With each new scene, the presence becomes bolder. The shadow no longer lurks in the distant background. It inches closer. In a scene set in your childhood bedroom, the shadow is cast upon the wall, its form elongated and distorted, stretching towards the bed where the phantom version of you is sleeping. It has no discernible features, just a solid, light-absorbing blackness. It is a void in the shape of a person. The camera never acknowledges it directly, yet its presence charges the air, transforming these fake happy memories into scenes of pure, unadulterated dread. You rewind the tape again and again, trying to get a clear look. You pause the frame, but the image dissolves into a mess of blurry lines. The shadow remains elusive, a ghost in the machine that refuses to be seen clearly. But you know it's there. You can feel its gaze, even through the television screen, through the decades of time. It is an uninvited guest in these stolen memories. And as the tape plays, you realize the story isn't about the fake family or the familiar house. The story is about the shadow, and with a sickening certainty, you know it is getting closer. You stare at the screen, your mind racing. The living room is perfectly preserved, too flawless. A flicker of doubt ignites in your mind. How could anyone know these specifics? The thought sends ripples of fear. The kitchen, the cracked tile. A woman who looks like your mother bakes cookies, but her smile is too wide, her movements too rehearsed. It's a performance. Each scene is a lie woven from your past. How did they know? You are watching a ghost story where you are the ghost. It feels like a warning. Someone has been watching you for a very long time. And this tape is the proof. The fake you. He's in the backyard, chasing a ball, his laughter echoing with a tinny, hollow sound through the television speakers. He has your eyes, your unruly hair, the same gap between his front teeth that you had at age 7. The resemblance is uncanny, terrifyingly so. But as you watch him play, you see subtle differences. The way he runs is not your run. The way he throws the ball is not your throw. It's like watching an actor who has studied you meticulously, capturing the broad strokes of your identity but missing the finer, more personal details. This child is a stranger wearing your skin. He moves through your house, sleeps in your bed, and plays with toys that should have been yours. The experience of watching him is profoundly unsettling, a surreal, out-of-body experience. You feel a strange, protective anger towards this imposter, this phantom who has usurped your place in these manufactured memories, but underneath the anger is a creeping fear. If someone could create such a convincing double of you as a child, what else could they do? What was the purpose of creating this alternate version of your life? The scenes continue to unspool, each one more disturbing than the last. The phantom child opens presents on Christmas morning, his face alight with a joy you never felt for those specific gifts. He blows out candles on a birthday cake at a party you never attended. He hugs the woman who is not your mother and shakes hands with the man who is not your father. They are a family of ghosts, performing for an unseen audience, and their perfect happiness feels menacing. It's a picture-perfect life, and its very perfection is what makes it so horrifying. Real life is messy, imperfect. This is something else entirely. You are forced to confront a chilling possibility. The tape isn't just a forgery of your past, it's a replacement. It's as if someone is trying to overwrite your actual memories with these new fabricated ones. The familiarity of the setting acts as an anchor, making the fabricated events feel plausible, real. For a fleeting, terrifying moment, you question your own mind. Did these things happen? Have you forgotten? The tape is a powerful piece of psychological warfare, and you are its sole audience. It's a home movie designed to make you doubt the very foundation of your own history. Who is behind the camera? The question haunts you as you watch. The camera work is mostly steady, but occasionally it shakes, as if the person holding it has taken a sudden breath or shifted their weight. They are an active participant, not just a static tripod. Their presence is felt in every frame. They choose what to focus on, what to reveal, and what to keep hidden. They pan slowly across a room, their gaze lingering on objects with a strange, almost obsessive attention to detail. This isn't just random filming, it's deliberate, calculated. The operator has a purpose. You start to analyze their movements, trying to build a profile of this unseen director. They move through the house with an unnerving confidence, a familiarity that suggests they've been there many times before. They know the layout. They know where to stand to get the best shot of the phantom family's interactions. They seem to be a part of the scene, yet completely invisible to the actors within it. The fake family never looks at the camera, never acknowledges the person filming them. It's as if the operator is a ghost, capturing moments from a dimension just adjacent to their own. Then you notice it, a sound, buried deep in the low-quality audio, underneath the fabricated laughter and dialogue. There is another noise, a soft, rhythmic breathing. It's slow and steady, and it's coming from just behind the camera's microphone, the operator. You rewind the tape, turn the volume all the way up and listen again. There it is. Inhale, exhale. A living, breathing presence in the room with those phantoms. The sound makes your skin crawl. It transforms the footage from a strange puzzle into something far more sinister. It confirms you are not just watching a tape. You are sharing a space with the person who created it. The breathing is the first solid clue. The first piece of evidence that this was not created by some supernatural force. A human being did this. A person with lungs and a beating heart stood in your childhood home and filmed these lies. This realization offers no comfort. In fact, it's more terrifying. A ghost is an unknown, but a person has motives. Malice, a plan. Who was this person? A stalker, a deranged relative, a stranger with a twisted obsession. The operator's quiet breaths are a whisper from the past, a chilling reminder that someone was there, watching everything. The tape's tone shifts. Cheerful scenes fade, replaced by dim, gray footage and unsettling silence. The camera lingers on empty rooms, closed doors and rain-soaked windows. The shadow is no longer a fleeting presence. It stands tall and featureless in the hallway, watching. Its appearances grow bolder, its form more solid, absorbing all light. The story has changed. This is no longer a mystery, but a descent into supernatural horror. The shadow is now the central figure, an entity, drawing ever closer. The tape ends in static, leaving you shaken and desperate for answers. You call your mother, struggling to explain the impossible, a tape of your old house but with a different family and a haunting shadow. She offers rational explanations, a mislabeled tape, a forgotten thrift store find. She promises to check old photos, but her skepticism is clear. The call ends, leaving you more isolated than before. No one believes you. You're alone with this horror. The search for answers is now yours alone. You call your brother, hoping for validation. He listens in tense silence, then urges you to throw the tape away, his voice tight with fear. He claims not to remember the house, but you know he's lying. The more you press, the more he retreats, finally hanging up. His reaction isn't disbelief, it's recognition and terror. You realize your family is hiding something, a secret tied to that house. The investigation now points inward, toward a darkness in your own history. With your family silent, you turn to the internet, searching for anyone with a similar story. Deep in a forgotten forum, you find a post from Jane Doe 88. She received a DVD showing her childhood home, starring a child who looked like her, and always a shadow in the background. Her account is inactive, her story dismissed as fiction. But her words echo your experience exactly. You're not alone. Others have been targeted. The horror is bigger than you, spreading beyond your family. The digital ghost is real. Searching for answers, you dig through boxes in your attic. Old toys, schoolwork, photo albums. You notice a gap, an entire year missing from your family's photos. At the bottom of a box, you find yellowed newspaper clippings. The headlines: a local family vanished without a trace during that missing year. The date: your 7th birthday. The past you're chasing is darker than you imagined. The secret is buried in your own childhood. The clippings tell of the Miller family's disappearance. No clues, no trace, just gone. Their son David had complained of a shadow man before they vanished. A photo of David reveals a chilling truth: he looks exactly like the child on your tape. The tape isn't a forgery of your life, it's a reconstruction of his. Your home was the set for his final days. You haven't received a warning, but evidence a ghost story made real. The shadow that took David Miller is now haunting you. David Miller unlocks a hidden corner of the internet. You dive into true crime, finding cold cases and amateur sleuths. Typing his name into the search bar reveals a tragic event. Recent discussions mention unsolicited packages containing VHS tapes or DVDs. These tapes show recreations of the lost loved one's final days. Every detail mirrors your experience. A dark figure appears in the background of the footage, the Shadow Man. He is the signature of this twisted project. You're part of a secret club, bound by a shared videotape nightmare. The investigation has exploded. You piece together fragments connecting disparate tragedies. There's a missing person case in Oregon, another in Florida, a third in Ohio, and yours connected to the Miller case. There's no geographical logic, no clear link between the victims. They vanished without a trace, leaving behind cold cases. The tapes arrive years after the disappearance, reigniting old grief. The creator manipulates emotions, forcing survivors to relive trauma. The locations used for filming were genuine. This implies terrifying planning and infiltration. They entered sacred spaces, turning them into film studios. The violation is deeper than imagined. Someone was in your childhood home. Who could be capable of such a thing? The question shifts from a personal "why me?" to a broader "who is the creator?" The level of dedication is staggering. The research, the casting of lookalikes, the securing of locations, the filming, the distribution. It's a massive undertaking. This isn't the work of a casual prankster. This is a life's work. A long-term, obsessive project. You begin to profile this phantom auteur, this director of grief. They are methodical, patient, and detail-oriented. They are a ghost who walks in the real world, leaving behind only videotapes as evidence of their passage. You start to focus on the one constant across all the cases: the shadow. It's the creator's signature, the one element that is not part of the realistic reenactment. It is a deliberate, artistic choice, a piece of symbolism. What does it represent? Is it the killer? Is it death itself? Is it a manifestation of the creator's own psyche, a self-portrait projected into the scene? In every tape, its behavior is the same. It starts in the periphery and moves closer, its presence growing more oppressive until it dominates the frame. It is a visual representation of an encroaching doom. The consistency of this signature suggests a single, unifying vision. It is highly unlikely that a group of people would independently create such similar, bizarre works of art. You are almost certainly looking for one person. An individual who has been doing this for decades, moving from town to town, case to case, like a specter drawn to tragedy. They select a cold case, immerse themselves in the victim's life, and then create their memorial, their strange and terrible film. They are an artist whose medium is unsolved crime, and whose canvas is the grief of broken families. This realization leads you to a new, terrifying theory. What if the creator is not just documenting these crimes? What if they are connected to them in a more direct way? The level of intimate knowledge required is immense. How could they know the exact details of a victim's room unless they had been there? How could they so perfectly capture the feeling of encroaching dread unless they knew what was coming? The line between observer and participant begins to blur. you are no longer sure if you are looking for a disturbed artist or something far more dangerous. The killer themselves creating films about their own work. If the creator is the killer, the tapes are trophies, a way for a murderer to relive their crimes. It's a boast delivered directly to the families of the people they took. The killer inserts themselves into the narrative, forever immortalized on tape alongside their victim. The home movies are the killer's own personal director's cut of the crime. Consider the case of David Miller. The creator filmed in your house, a house just streets away from where the Miller family lived. Decades later, they sent the evidence to you. This explains the silence from your family. The creator's motive is a complex mix of ego, nostalgia, and pure malice. They don't want the cases to remain cold. The creator has made you a part of the story of David Miller, and the story is not over. The knowledge transforms your relationship with your past. The childhood home is now tainted, recast as a crime scene. This creates a morbid pull. You have to go back physically. You need to stand in those rooms again to search for any trace. You find the current owner's number online. The call is awkward. You tell them you're working on a family memoir and would love to visit. The drive is a journey back in time, stirring nostalgia and dread. Pulling up to the house is surreal, but it is unmistakably the same place. You are willingly walking onto the set. The current owner greets you, oblivious. She ushers you inside. The bones of the house are the same. Your mind superimposes the grainy images over the present-day reality. The house feels haunted by the ghost of a film. You ask about renovations, masking your true purpose. Your eyes scan every corner looking for something out of place. You make your way up the creaking staircase. The upstairs is untouched, a quiet, dusty wing. You enter your old bedroom, a powerful anchor to the past. You stand in the center of the room, listening. You feel a strange vibration, a subtle thrumming from within the walls. Your attention is drawn to the closet. You pull it open and are met with the musty smell of cedar and dust. As you run your hand along the paper, your fingers catch on a loose edge. You peel back the loose wallpaper, revealing crumbling plaster. A small section gives way, revealing a dark cavity. You shine your phone's flashlight into the hole. It's a small, active, low-frequency audio transmitter. Your blood turns to ice. The device is not old. It's a modern piece of technology. Something that would not have existed when the tape was filmed decades ago. This discovery shatters your entire timeline. The creator, the director of these nightmares, hasn't just been a ghost from the past. They have maintained a presence. This transmitter, hidden within the walls of your childhood sanctuary, is proof of an ongoing operation. The humming you felt was not a figment of your imagination, it was a signal, a beacon. But what was it broadcasting, and to whom? You carefully pull the device from the wall. It's small, self-contained, powered by a long-life battery. There's a small memory card slot on its side. Your mind races with possibilities. Is it a listening device, a tracking beacon, a part of some larger, more sinister network? The owner calls up to you from the bottom of the stairs, asking if everything is all right. You quickly pocket the transmitter, your voice shaking as you call back that you're fine, just lost in a moment of nostalgia. You know you have to leave now. You have found what you were looking for, and it is infinitely worse than you imagined. Back in the safety of your own home, you examine your discovery. You don't have the equipment to analyze the signal it was broadcasting, but you can access the memory card. With trembling hands, you insert it into your computer. There is only one file on it, an audio file. It's not a recording of the room, not surveillance footage. It's a message. You press play, and a voice fills your headphones. It is a distorted, electronically altered voice, deep and raspy, like gravel being ground under a heavy boot. It is the voice of the creator. The message is short, and it is not addressed to you. It is a series of cryptic instructions. The set is compromised, the distorted voice says. The archivist has been alerted. Proceed to final observation. The shadow must fall where it began. The words are chillingly precise, the language of a covert operative. The archivist. That must be you. The tape was meant to alert you, to bring you back to the house, to make you find this. It was a breadcrumb, a deliberate clue. But the final instruction is the most terrifying. The shadow must fall where it began. What does it mean? The message is a trigger, a signal that your investigation has reached a new and final stage. The creator knows you have found the transmitter. They led you to it. This entire time, you thought you were the investigator, hunting for a ghost, but you were the subject, a rat in a maze constructed just for you. The tape, the online clues, the family secrets, it was all part of their design. a carefully orchestrated path to lead you to this exact moment. The game has changed. You are no longer just an audience member or an archivist. You have been cast in the final act. A sudden jarring noise from downstairs snaps you out of your terrified trance. A loud thud, the sound of something heavy falling. You are not alone in your house. Your heart leaps into your throat. Every horror movie instinct screams at you to hide, to call the police. The house is silent again, but it's a heavy, predatory silence. Every creak of the floorboards, every hum of an appliance sounds like a footstep. The phrase from the audio file echoes in your mind. Proceed to final observation. The creator isn't just a voice on a recording, they are here. You creep to the top of your stairs, peering down into the darkness of your own living room, and you see him. Standing in the center of the room, perfectly still, is a tall figure. He is dressed entirely in black, his face obscured by the deep shadows of the room. He is not a supernatural entity, not a glitch on a tape. He is a man of flesh and blood, a physical being who has invaded your home. But as he stands there, a solid mass of darkness against the faint moonlight, he is the perfect embodiment of the shadow from the tapes. The signature, the killer. He turns his head slowly as if he can feel your gaze and looks directly up the stairs towards you. You cannot see his eyes, but you can feel them. It is a moment of pure, undiluted terror. The shadow has come to life. It has stepped out of the grainy footage of the past and into the high-definition reality of your present. The confrontation you never wanted is here. The final observation has begun, and you realize with sickening certainty that the director has come to film the final scene. The shadow watches you. The confrontation never comes. He turns and walks out, vanishing into the night. You call the police, the tape, the device, the man. To you, he was the director. What did he want? He wanted you to see him, to complete the circle. The tapes were his director's cut, perfecting the crimes. He was the auteur, and the tapes were his legacy. It was a transfer of knowledge. In the days that follow, a fragile normalcy returns. The police investigation stalls. The experience has changed you forever. You are now the keeper of a terrible secret. The tape is evidence. The story of David Miller, told by his murderer. The shadow in the footage is a self-portrait, the killer inserting himself into the narrative. This knowledge is a heavy burden. Who would believe you? You have no hard proof, only a grainy VHS tape and the memory of a shadow. You are isolated in your knowledge. And so, you begin to document everything, creating an archive. You are becoming the archivist, preserving the legacy. Life moves on, but the fear never truly leaves. He is still out there. His project may be over, but he is not. Already searching for his next victim, his next masterpiece of grief. The tape you received was not the first, and it will not be the last. Was your home the beginning? It is a puzzle you will likely never solve. The home movie you never filmed has become the defining film of your life. You are all part of a secret, tragic collection. And so we are left here in the quiet of the aftermath with one final, chilling thought. The creator, the shadow, chose you. Why you? And what exactly does he want you to do next?